Hi, everyone. I'm Christine Tulley, President and Executive Writing Coach at Defend and Publish, and welcome to episode 70, Summer Writing Rhythms. I got the idea for this episode from our April boost that we were running at Defend and Publish. Our April Boost is a 4-week series where we have just 1-hour meetings a week to deal with a specific topic. And in April, what we looked at was developing a summer writing schedule. As part of that, during the first week of our workshop, I talked with the faculty and the graduate students that attended about getting real with summertime. And so one of the first ways to establish a summer writing rhythm is to really look at what kind of time you actually have in the summer. I think one thing that many of us academics fall into is that it seems like summer is this big open stretch of time where we have time to work on all of our writing projects. We're going to finally get caught up. And it usually doesn't work out that way for lots of reasons. For all my academic moms and dads out there, many of us have children at home for the summer. So a lot of times that means our childcare is now gone and we need to, be working with our kids and taking them places and, entertaining them. So we might not have those long blocks of child-free time anymore. But for others of us, we might be picking up summer teaching for extra income. So even though summer is supposedly a time where everybody can kind of slow down and work on their projects, for many of us, we're teaching 6-week classes, that are very, a 16-week class jammed into 6, or, an 8-week or something compressed like that. And still others of us are going to travel. Many of us are going to see families. If we took an academic position far away from our families, sometimes summer is the only time to travel when there's longer vacation time. So one of the things that helps here then when you're thinking about a summer writing rhythm is to figure out what kind of time you have left. And one of the very first activities we did in our workshop was to look at all the days in the summer and draw big black X's through everything that couldn't be used. Meaning vacation days, days where we were traveling, days that, maybe were required in services at work to come back to teach in the fall. And many of us discovered that, wow, there goes about a third of the days are days that, really aren't full days for writing. In addition to that, many of us who are parents took a look at how many times we're driving kids to activities or taking them to camps or, going to the pool with them or whatever we're doing with them. Or for older children, many folks that came to the workshop mentioned how they were taking their, sophomore, junior, senior children out to look at college campuses. And that was a lot of traveling in the summer. So there's a couple more days that get X'd off. And in addition to that, there might even be days where, you just honestly are not going to be working for whatever reason. If it's a time to catch up with friends, if you're just going to get some rest, if you're going to finally clean your house. I know for me, one thing that took a lot of my days is that I purposely try to put all our family medical appointments in the summer so I don't pull children out of school. And so that means I'm always going to the dentist or the eye doctor or something, some other place like that, which again can eat a morning or an afternoon, depending on how it goes. And so figuring out what a summer writing rhythm looks like means figuring out what kind of time are you working with. So summer is kind of odd because it is different from our semesters where we have sort of set times to meet classes or set times that maybe we work on writing that have already been engraved. It really upends everything. So that's the first thing to take a look at. So, and for the record, anybody who's interested in that April writing boost, even though it is no longer April, as this episode should come out at the beginning of May, if you want those recordings and templates, I'm still willing to give them to you. I told many people that I'll sell those after workshops are over for anyone that wants one. And if you're interested, you can come back to me. My email is just christine@defendandpublish.com. So if you listen to this 2 years from now, this is recorded in March of 2022, that's absolutely fine. Feel free to come back to me. We store all of them in our big, we have basically a big place where all of them go in our big server. So, okay, so that's the first one. Another thing to take a look at then would be to figure out what kind of summer writing rhythm you'd like to have. So for some of us, we don't want to be putting our nose to the grindstone and writing every single day in the, very hard, maybe intense manner we were working in previous semesters. And I know for me, I definitely slow down a little bit in the summer, and I try not to make the, writing situation a time pressured, filled environment. Instead, I like to be a little bit more relaxed about it. Sometimes I'll get really good ideas because I'm just not pushing as hard as I might during the fall or the spring semester. And so one way that I make sure that that happens for me, and this might be useful for you, is I look at when I could actually get some writing done and then think about that practically. Could I actually do writing in some of those open moments? And I know for me, just from past experience of having children at home in the summer, the only time it's realistically going to get done is before my children wake up. And fortunately for me, they can sleep in usually till 8 or 9 a.m. So I know I'm very fortunate, and those with little kids or toddlers that are getting up at 5 a.m., I sympathize, I do. Hopefully you'll get a stretch later. I had some early risers a long time ago as well. But that is, so I know if they're going to get up at like 8 or 9, if I could still get up around 6:30 or 7 and get an hour of writing in before they wake up, for me, that's enough. And that might mean I only get in 5 hours of writing in a week during the summer, because I know for me, I also don't usually write on the weekends during the summer. So, that's not a ton of time. But then I also think of all the other things I'm doing that are part of a summer writing rhythm. So that's just the actual writing of whatever it is I'm working on. But another thing that I do to try to take advantage of summer is in the afternoon, I do take my younger child to the swimming pool in the afternoon. And so a lot of times, it's kind of empty. I can bring something to read. And I know I do try to read a few academic books about either productivity or about my area of research or something over the summer. And I just enjoy reading them again in a relaxed manner, not trying to cram in every, piece of information that's in that book or that article. And so I'll take those along with me in the pool sometimes. But again, I don't give myself pressure on that. It's a way where I can get some relaxed reading done and take some notes. I've mentioned this before in a previous episode that I do like to write as I'm reading. So a lot of times if I'll bring a print version of a scholarly journal or some articles, I'll take some notes, but I'll actually do some writing about some things I find in there. And, for those of us that are on a tenure deadline, or you've got, some real reason you need to be producing scholarship fast, you may not be able to do this, or maybe this could be, something you're doing in your off hours. But I know for me, this has been a time for rejuvenation if I was able to get some extra reading done. And our next episode is actually going to be about some of those summer, I'm calling them beach reads or nerdy beach reads, if you want to check those out to see some of the things I'm going to look at just to revisit for the summer. So that's something else that can happen. Finally, though, I also want to have you take a look for a summer writing rhythm and determine where you're going to do your writing. Because for some of us with children at home, if you need to be home and stay home, you can't go to the office if you used to write there. Or I mentioned I write in the library. I can't do that in the summer, with kids at home, or a coffee shop that I like to go to once a week. So one of the things that I do is I figure out where's the spot in my house where I can do some summer writing that is not my desk and that is not in my office, because that's just where I've thrown all kinds of other things like paying bills and stuff like that. So this might be helpful for you. And I know in the summer, this is especially helpful for me to just take my laptop, go sit at the kitchen table. I can watch the sun, if the sun's up already, great. If it's not, I can watch it come up. And again, it's kind of like going somewhere else to do my writing. And I know for me, I only do it in the summer, so that does make it a little bit special. So if that's something that you might think about, having a special summer place where you're doing your writing and just take advantage of that natural energy. So hopefully these suggestions help you get thinking a little bit about what summer writing might look like. If you're able to maintain the same kind of schedule because you can, still go to the office or go to the library, you don't have some of the same issues, you might think about how to tweak it a little bit and make it a little bit different from what you usually do during the school year, and take advantage of, the natural energy for that. If you're in the northern hemisphere, if you're in the southern hemisphere, obviously it will be winter, so you'll have some different energies there. But take a look and see if there's something that you can tweak. Happy writing this week.